Manny, what do you think of Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson? That fight just got announced. Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson.
They're going to fight that.
Pacquiao's still a legend. He's one of my inspirations. I love the guy. I wish him nothing but the best, but you know, sometimes you got to hang it.
Will the boxing world survive this clash of past and present? Can a legend's return shake the foundations of a modern champion's reign?
They're gonna fight. Do you think Jake Paul can beat Mike Tyson?
I don't think so.
Jake Paul has taken notice of the buzz surrounding Manny Pacquiao's sudden return to face Mario Barrios. He has set social media alight with playful jabs and bold claims. His tone carries a mix of genuine curiosity and tongue-in-cheek mockery. The usually brash influencer turned boxer has found a new stage to stir the pot. He does not hold back on poking fun at both the veteran and the champion in a way only he can.
I got my new trainer here, me and Manny Pacquiao. Jake Paul, I'm coming for you, baby. I'm coming. Let's go.
The YouTube star has watched from the sidelines as boxing pundits debated Pacquiao's motives for coming back. He questions whether this is a wise choice for a fighter who has not stepped into a professional ring for 4 years. He points out the contrast between a man in his early 40s rekindling old flames and a young champion on a relentless rise. Jake's commentary suggests that this fight could be as much about showmanship as skill. His comments tease the idea that this match is a spectacle more than a contest.
Manny actually wanted to fight me behind the scenes, like a bunch of conversations trying to make it happen. I don't know. It didn't seem like very exciting.
In Jake's view, Mario Barrios sits in a tough spot. He is a reigning champion with his reputation on the line. He has shown heart and skill in past fights, yet he faces a more seasoned opponent in Pacquiao. Jake imagines Barrios waking up to tweets about Pacquiao's glory days and how he shattered the hopes of countless foes. He jokes that Barrios might be Googling highlights of fights that happened before he was born. This satirical image paints Barrios as both confident and slightly rattled.
I would just hit him once and he just humbled. Some guys still have it in their 40s and 50s. He just doesn't give that vibe.
Jake constantly reminds his audience that boxing thrives on drama. He exaggerates the promotional circus that has sprung up around this match. He claims there are more cameras and microphones than actual gloves in New York City. He laughs at press conferences where fighters trade compliments and insults in the same breath. He makes fun of how every media outlet suddenly cares about Pacquiao's retirement. To him, the entire scene looks like a carefully choreographed dance. He digs into what he sees as an overblown narrative. He highlights how every channel talks about Pacquiao as if he invented boxing itself. He points out that fans gush over his knockout history as though it never happened before. Jake mocks the tendency to treat Pacquiao's return like a final Super Bowl performance. He scoffs at headlines that call Barrios a David, stepping up to face a Goliath once more. His satire questions whether this fight is about legacy or simply ratings. Jake knows that his own transition from YouTube to boxing raised eyebrows. He uses this to lampoon critics. He says that when he announced his first professional fight, experts laughed at him. Now they whisper about him in the same breath as old-school boxers. He draws a parallel. If he can cross over from meme videos to the ring, perhaps Pacquiao can return after a long hiatus. This comparison mocks both those who doubted him and those who question Pacquiao's comeback.
I think I fought the best, and they beat me. You know, like Mayweather and Pacquiao, you know, and like that. But
the social media chatter excites him most. He scrolls through timelines filled with gifs of Pacquiao's speed and shares of Barrios' most brutal knockouts. He describes a virtual arena where every keyboard warrior has already predicted a winner. He steals scenes by posting reaction videos to reaction videos, each more dramatic than the last. Jake says the internet hype might outshine the live crowd in Las Vegas. He jokes that remote viewers will bring their own popcorn and trash talk from home. Jake cannot resist commenting on the financial stakes. He imagines pay-per-view buys skyrocketing. He mentions how brokers and sponsors will line their pockets as guidelines disappear. He suggests that Fight Night might resemble a battle for credit card approvals rather than boxing belts. This satirical take pulls back the curtain on the business side of boxing. He implies that money often punches harder than any glove. In his sharp tone, he mocks the idea of a must-see event driven by nostalgia. He says the phrase has lost meaning because boxing always sells nostalgia first. He recalls how many are fascinated by watching legends slow down. He jibes that fans will pay top dollar to witness a faded fighter churning out punches like he's still in his prime. He predicts a flood of articles dissecting every gray hair and every crease on Pacquiao's face. His humor attacks the obsession with youth versus experience.
To get destroyed by Manny Pacquiao like I did in 2 rounds, and then I knew my career was over, no more boxing.
Jake refuses to let his audience forget that Barrios once slipped past tough contenders to claim the WBC belt. He praises his footwork and stamina, even as he jests about the pressure of facing a living legend. He points out that Barrios has a six-pack and youth on his side, while Pacquiao might have 9 lives. This humorous comparison sets up a cartoon-like image of Barrios bounding around the ring and Pacquiao gliding like a ghost. He balances respect with ridicule. He sees symbolism in the clash, old school versus new school. He uses his own journey to poke fun at boxing purists. He jokes that the sport is now run by celebrities who once posted dance videos. He envisions a world where the next boxing icon might be a TikTok star with a mean left hook. His satire extends beyond just these 2 fighters. He challenges the traditional view that boxing must belong only to lifelong athletes. Jake also focuses on the contrasting training camps. He paints imagery of Pacquiao honing his craft in a tropical gym with monks chanting, only to later lift weights in a high-tech facility. He jests that he might have seen more Instagram stories from Pacquiao's camp than from his own father's birthday party. His humor draws on the mystique surrounding Pacquiao's discipline and Barrios' modern methods. It emphasizes the cultural and generational gap.
August, I'm back, baby. Let's get it.
His commentary moves to technique. He dissects Pacquiao's famed left cross as if speaking to a classroom of novices. He asks if that punch can still be thrown with the same lightning speed after 4 years away. He contrasts it with Barrios' measured jab, which he calls a digital clock punctuality punch. This satiric technical talk pushes viewers to laugh at how much emphasis is placed on minute details. He delivers it with mock-serious flair. Jake never misses a chance to poke fun at boxing's layered hierarchy. He draws attention to how casual fans rarely know how promotions, rankings, and sanctioning fees work. He quips that boxing seems more complicated than a quantum physics textbook when it comes to belts and organizations. He jokes that someone could become a champion by sheer confusion at a press conference. His tone highlights absurdities that often go unnoticed. He questions media narratives that paint Pacquiao as invincible. He reminds audiences that past greatness does their success to top the charts again. His turns a serious boxing match into a pop culture event with catchy choruses and grand finales. He teases the notion that fans will sing old anthems while munching on stale concession popcorn. Jake highlights the training regimens for both fighters. He jokes that Pacquiao's camp might follow routines written on palm leaves, while Barrios' camp tracks every heartbeat with sensors. He suggests both camps will feed off each other's hype. He tempts viewers with the idea that trainers might engage in secret midnight sparring sessions. His humor extends beyond the fighters to include every member of camp, from cutmen to nutritionists. He dives into the psychology of a returning champion. He speculates on Pacquiao's mindset, whether he feels a need to prove he still belongs. He jabs that maybe Pacquiao's ego demands one last standing ovation. He contrasts that with Barrios' hunger to prove that he can beat a legend. He paints Barrios as the gladiator hungry for lions, longing to eclipse a hero. His satire exaggerates motivations to theatrical extremes.
Somebody once told me the world is gonna love me.
Jake cannot resist making fun of the venue. He mentions MGM Grand Garden Arena as if it were a gladiatorial coliseum. He says the lights will blind fighters until they question their very existence. He mocks the golden lion outside the arena as a symbol that boxing is more circus than sport. His words turn the venue into a character that overshadows the fighters. He laughs at how each corner carries ritual bottles with strange potions. His focus shifts to the fan base. He ridicules fans who defend Pacquiao with blind devotion. He imagines them tattooing his face on their chests and chanting his name like a cult. He jests that some will claim ancestral bonds that trace back to the gardens of ancient Sparta. On the other side, he pokes fun at Barrios supporters who scream about modernity and youth. He paints a picture of rival tribes clashing with foam fingers and chanting slogans. He mocks the social media war. He describes timelines flooded with edited GIFs of past Pacquiao knockouts. Barrios fans reply with highlight reels of their hero's speed and power. Jake portrays the online feud like a medieval jousting tournament, only with smartphones instead of lances. He teases the idea that hashtags will serve as armor and memes as swords. His satire calls out the often ridiculous intensity of online fandom.
Hold on, Jake.
Jake loves to imagine conspiracy theories. He suggests a secret plot by promoters to resurrect Pacquiao purely for profit. He jests that Dubai's oil moguls pulled strings to reawaken a sleeping giant. He vividly imagines shadowy figures deciding to pair Pacquiao with Barrios to generate maximum chaos. His mock conspiracies heighten the drama beyond what really happens backstage. He uses hyperbole to question the authenticity of big boxing events. His narrative dives into the idea of age in combat. He wonders if 20 years ago Pacquiao could have dodged Barrios like a ghost. Now, he speculates, every punch might feel heavier. He exaggerates by suggesting that Barrios could send shockwaves to Pacquiao's bones just by blinking. His barbed humor focuses on how aging can warp perception. He uses this to belittle the serious sports analysis that claims age is just a number.
Right here? This way.
He turns to his own boxing run. He recalls his first professional fight and the criticisms he faced. He uses that memory to tease both fighters about how external voices never truly leave an athlete. He jokes that he still hears critics telling him a pizza delivery guy could beat him. He extends that same doubt to Barrios, suggesting if Pacquiao can spark old doubts, a younger fighter might quake. His satire merges his personal experience with the main story. Jake highlights sparring rumors. He says Pacquiao might have gone to secret sparring sessions in underground caves. Barrios might have trained with ex-military strike teams. He baits fans by claiming there will be leaks of leaked leaks. He envisions videos of Barrios shadowboxing with combo boards and Pacquiao hitting dummies in a bamboo hut. This parody of training camp secrecy pokes fun at how rumors inflate expectations. He pays attention to style matchups. He asks if Barrios' range will frustrate Pacquiao's aggressive style. He jibes at past fighters who failed to adapt to Pacquiao's rhythm. He quips that this time the roles could reverse, with Pacquiao awkwardly stepping into Barrios' rhythm. He extends the satire by saying analysts might break into tears trying to predict combinations. His commentary transforms technical analysis into a comedy of errors. Jake also critiques the hype machines. He says every fight has a soundtrack of pumped-up hip-hop and nervous rock ballads. He jokes that ESPN will play the same 5-second drum fill every time legend versus challenger appears on screen. He mocks announcers who overstate every jab as if harbingers of destiny. His satire extends to the production side, where camera angles aim to make every bead of sweat look like a hero's tear. He pokes fun at fan superstitions. He describes how spectators will tie red bands around their wrists for good luck. He ridicules those who believe eating the right meal could influence a fighter's psyche. He imagines fans chanting prayers not for peace, but for a knockout. This lampoon of fan rituals highlights how superstitions skew logic. His tone paints them as endearing yet absurd. Jake highlights the promotional tour. He pictures the fighters boarding private jets and attending salt mines for altitude training. He laughs at press stops where each fighter must appear eager yet calm. He jests that Pacquiao might be sipping coconut water in a palace while Barrios drinks green smoothies in a Silicon Valley loft. His contrasts exaggerate lifestyle gaps. He uses this to show how carefully crafted each fighter's image can be.
AJ, real quick, center, get you a couple nice gloves.
He shifts focus to past comebacks. He recalls other boxing legends who tried returns only to falter. He mentions a certain heavyweight who thought he could still fly but ended up seated in a sweatshop. He ridicules the idea that once a champion, always a champion. He quips that the only constancy in boxing is uncertainty. This sarcasm reminds fans that history is littered with failed comebacks. Jake pokes at celebrity spectators. He jests that every rapper and actor will suddenly claim lifelong boxing knowledge. He laughs, imagining them in ringside seats, nodding as if they can predict aerial trajectories of punches. He describes a scenario where a famous singer passes judgment with a twirl of hair. His parody highlights how celebrity endorsement often outshines fighter talent in media coverage. He examines the undercard fights. He teases that these matches will be treated like appetizers before the main feast. He jokes that viewers might skip the undercard altogether to stream their favorite cooking show instead. He ridicules commentators who inflate each undercard punch as if it were a championship moment. His satirical angle downplays the importance of undercard bouts in the shadow of a headliner.
That's signed by both guys. Signed to you. Yeah, here for that.
Jake shifts to promotional graphics. He portrays digital posters showing Pacquiao's silhouette against a stormy sky. Barrios stands with arms crossed, muscles bulging. He mocks marketing agencies for over-designing posters that look like movie promotions. He highlights how every pixel screams epic showdown without revealing any real substance. His banter reduces glossy hype to cartoonish extravagance. He comments on ticket prices. He notes prices soar as though fighting a meteor is part of the event. He jests that a nosebleed seat might cost as much as a small car. He exaggerates by saying some fans will skip rent for a month to afford ringside. His satire underscores how the business of boxing can price out everyday supporters. He hints that the sport risks becoming an exclusive spectacle. He turns to broadcasting rights. He wonders aloud why a simple fight demands a complex web of licensing deals. He jests that ESPN, DAZN, and every streaming service will claim exclusive but overlapping coverage. He paints a picture of fans juggling multiple subscriptions just to catch a glimpse of a left hook. His humor critiques how modern boxing has become a patchwork of commerce rather than athletics. In the closing moments, Jake reminds fans to tune in and witness history, comedy, and drama all rolled into one. He beckons viewers to prepare their snacks, adjust their volume, and brace for a wild ride. He warns that no prediction can capture the chaos that will unfold on fight night. His parting note teases that whether it ends in triumph or upset, this event will be talked about for years, if only for its sheer unpredictability. Subscribe, like, and comment below to join the conversation. Show your support and share your wildest predictions for what could be the most entertaining night in recent boxing history.